Hey guys, I wanted to make a quick video talking about the Splatana Wiper Deco, one of the new weapon kits that we received in the new Sizzle season. From the day its kit was announced, there's been a lot of talk about this weapon. And by talk, I mean a lot of fear and worrying. If you're someone who isn't really involved in competitive Splatoon and you have no idea what I'm talking about, let me give you some quick context. In Splatoon 2, Tenta-missiles heavily dominated the meta towards the end of the game's life. Pretty much every team had one, some teams even ran two. And a lot of people hated it because the playstyle that made them good pretty much just revolved around sitting back, avoiding fights, and spamming Tenta-missiles so the rest of your team could push in. At the beginning of Splatoon 3, the same exact playstyle existed with Tenta-missiles, mainly with the Reflux and Flingza Roller. For 9 months, we didn't get any new Tenta-missile weapons. It was just those two and the Goo-tuber. Japanese players even called these weapons the Sacred 3 because they were the only weapons to have arguably the best special in the game. But as I'm sure most of you know, the Splatana Wiper Deco was announced to have Tenta-missiles. This scared everyone because 1, the Wiper is one of the best main weapons in the game, 2, the Wiper can paint pretty darn well, and 3, well, it's just another missile weapon. Splatoon 2 scarred a lot of us. But I'm here to tell you today that after using the Wiper Deco quite a bit the past few days, as well as talking with some other competitive Wiper players, this weapon is not as good as many people seem to think. Now, am I saying the weapon is bad? Hell no. It probably is the best new kit that we received in the Sizzle season. But I'm just trying to say that I don't think this weapon is going to break the game or ruin the meta like so many people are fearing. Let's break down the reasons as to why this is the case. So the most obvious issue that the Wiper Deco has is that it lacks a lethal bomb, which is something that the vanilla Wiper kit does have, being Torpedo. I don't think a lot of people realize just how good Torpedo synergizes with the main weapon. You can roll it on the floor to get free partial damage on opponents, making it much easier to secure a kill. I mean, if you direct them, that's just 2 horizontal swipes to finish them off. And don't forget, Torpedo is capable of painting a lot too, which helps the vanilla Wiper get its special a lot faster. Now, the Wiper Deco on the other hand, it doesn't have anything like that. It has Squid Beacon. Don't get me wrong, Beacon is a good sub, and Wiper is a weapon that can get to sneaky positions relatively quickly, making it a good option as a beacon layer. But even with that though, it's no lethal bomb, and it doesn't paint at all. The main weapon is a lot harder to use without a bomb, and I think people are slowly realizing that after having time to actually try it. Next, we're going to be talking about playstyle. The Splatana Wiper's main weapon is very aggressive. It kind of plays like a Tetra would. It runs a ton of quick respawn and goes in to create openings for your team, often flanking and dying a bunch. With that knowledge in mind, putting Beacon and Tenta-missiles on this thing, which are a pretty passive sub and special, seems kinda conflicting. If someone is taking advantage of the main weapon's strengths, they're probably not going to get a ton of missiles off, since they'll most likely be dying a lot during the match. I know what you're thinking though. The weapon has 190p missiles, and if you just stick a ton of special charge on it, you can get missiles extremely fast. So why not just do that and play the weapon in an unconventional way, where you sit back and missile spam? Well, right now, the strategy probably could work because 190p is pretty low, but I'm willing to bet you money that in the very next patch we get, they're making this thing 200p. And also, if you want to play like that, I truly think you'd be better off just playing Flingza. Sure, Flingza's points for special is a bit higher, but it still gets missiles pretty darn fast. And in my opinion, the way it outputs paint is a lot more effective than Wiper for this playstyle. But there's also one other thing that people seem to be forgetting. Tenta-missiles got nerfed a few months ago. They made it way harder to spam Tenta-missiles, and while you can still get a decent amount of them off in a single game, you can't get nearly as many as you could pre-nerf. So with the lack of being able to spam missiles, paired with the fact that missile spamming doesn't suit the Wiper's playstyle, as well as the fact that Wiper Deco lacks a lethal sub-weapon, I think people were being a little too paranoid. Now again, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not making this video to say the weapon is bad, because it's definitely not. I've already gotten 3 stars with it, and I've used it in some scrims already as well, and I've been getting some great results. But people were just fearing that this was going to be the ultimate Splatoon weapon that killed the game once and for all. and I really don't think that's going to end up happening. I'd actually argue that the vanilla wiper is just as good as the Wiper Deco, if not a little bit better. But now that you've heard my thoughts, what do you guys think of the Wiper Deco? Do you agree with my statement that the weapon was overrated, or do you think I was wrong and the weapon will in fact rule the meta? Whatever you think, let me know down below, because I am genuinely curious. And also be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I'm going to go play some more light tetra dualies now, so I'll see you all later.